this thing on, I wonder. So hi guys. I don't know if I'm not really the greatest at actually doing these kind of things, but I only recently came out of my shell of torment and pain. But so actually, all the stuff I'm talking about actually with my God theory, or governing overlying dynamics, whatever you want to call it, are based on structures that I've actually built back in 2008, 9, 10, before, let's just say I gave myself a stroke, pretty much. So, I mean, I have 3 papers, 3 concepts, actually, I can show you guys that actually show that I know what I'm doing, kind of thing, but, I mean, again, these are 15 years old, pretty much, and here they go. So, this one, actually, that I'm going to show you guys with this concept, I'm not the greatest at this part either, it might be a little hard to read, but for me, it's the concept of actually the interpretation of 3 dimensions in how we actually handle it as human beings. So systemically, there's 2 sides to every coin with actually all 3 dimensions. So objective versus subjective reality, so whether you interpret it as inside or outside. Internal or external, that's more of actually representation of how you, not really how you handle it, but it's your locus of control that's outside of you. So some people take it inside and, you know, get fluid with it, and some people actually externalize it and do not actually process it within themselves, but actually try to process the environment around them. And finally, actually, with the concept of AI going through what we're going through right now, with like them trying to find an alien, generational intelligence, that kind of stuff. So for me, it was actually, this is kind of just new interpretation for me, but I actually had the idea of it, kind of thing, that, you know, for me, that intelligence is actually natural, no matter if it's artificial or not. So for me, like, if it's digital or if it's artificial, it's, I mean, the exact same thing. So again, this was written around 2008, 9, and 10. So my next kind of concept that I drew is about the same time frame. I mean, again, I kind of lost track of stuff just because I had a lot of like crazy stuff happen in my life, and I mean, I finally actually coming through it. I'm at the end. I'm surprised actually. I mean, I'm still here and everything, but so the next one will be what I call the gravitational magnetic equivalence controlled supernova. So this structure is actually based on, you know, if you look at it, you'll kind of notice actually that it's just four wrapped around coils like superconductive magnets. And in the center of it is I just said pure iron, but any kind of molecule, any kind of not molecule, any kind of atom. And the apparatus has 6 superconducting electromagnetics surrounding the sphere. As you turn up the voltage to the superelectromagnetics, gradually the sphere will appear as to float in midair. Continue to increase the voltage higher, and the sphere will start to expand. With enough force, the iron will explode in all directions. You pull it hard enough, it's going to be a lot of energy to do it, but it will actually cause the strong magnetic force to explode. Not magnetic, nuclear, but same thing. Since they're all, I mean, equivalency actually makes them all the same exact thing. So, and then finally, with the concepts that I was developing, would be this bad boy. So as you can see, it looks like diodes. For me, it's to show that a black hole is a 3-dimensional object instead of actually being a 1-dimensional or whatever it was assumed to be. So for me, it's a 3-dimensional black body, more like a dot that's actually in reality, or that where the strong force has actually gotten so much strength to and actually so much ability that it's pulled everything out of it. So it's actually pulled all the space out of it, and it actually is correlated to whether it's a small piece, whether it's like, I mean, it still could be like a chunk of material, of matter, but it's still actually, you know, it's still there. It exists in 3-dimensional reality, not on the continuum, because that was something that Einstein, I think he realized at the end of his life that he actually kind of messed up with. That the concept of the 3-dimensional, or the space-time continuum is actually not real. I want to say that. I mean, it just sounds, it just sounds weird. But if you look at Occam's razor for the situation, it makes the most sense. I mean, we can create a society, or not a society, but we can create a system actually that allows this stuff to actually appear and occur in 3 dimensions only, and we understand what's going on. So that eliminates wormholes, that eliminates some of these other kind of theories like time travel and stuff, since, I mean, it's all in the same exact 3-dimensional reality, and time is separate from actually the 3 dimensions itself, and it actually is always there. Everything always progresses forward, no matter what kind of thing, but so the description is that So I called it a perfect black body absorber, simulated black hole right in the center, or actually it's more that bad boy right there. So that is more of like what we would call actually just a spot. I mean, it's just a three-dimensional object. I mean, we can't see it because we're so far away from them, and the gravitational pull is so heavy that, yeah, we're never gonna get close. But I mean, it's more that it's actually the simple fact it's an actual three-dimensional object still. At the center is a sphere of perfect black body absorber. Surrounding the sphere are 6 powerful lasers that shoot photons towards the center. If the center is a perfect black body, all photons emitted from lasers would be absorbed and no light would be seen. If the center is a semi-perfect black body, 0.8 or 0.99, some other photons will be reflected back at the people. The other part with it too is the concept actually that I mean, that kind of explains, you know, gravitational lensing and things like that. So I mean, we're so focused on if what you call it, let's see, if we think that gravity is actually the curvature of the actual space itself, then we'll assume that actually the body itself actually adjusts based on where it's at, versus actually if we just get rid of that and actually understand that actually with sorry, kind of a little tired, but electromagnetism, the part where actually more than likely it's just a guess. I mean, it makes sense actually that when it comes to the actual process of gravity, that it should be actually a part of the actual electromagnetic wave spectrum as maybe a different, like the third dimension on a wave function of the actual photon itself. So number one, you have the particle. Number two, you have the wave, and then you have the third as the actual graviton. So they're kind of equivalent. And with that, how it actually works is the part where it actually works as a communication between the gluon, which within the actual quark's nucleus of actually the sorry, I'm getting tired. I need to, after this, I'm probably gonna take a nap. But actually between that actually and the quarks, and actually how it actually holds the nucleus of the actual, whether it's the proton or the actual neutron. And let's see. I mean, it's just, for me, this just makes the most sense. And if you think about it, I mean, it's always, gravity's always about the exact same as the speed of light, so it makes sense that they're equivalent. So with that kind of situation, then we just got to find a way to actually measure the graviton, electromagnetic compulsion. But thank you.